solemnly state that the testimony you may give in the cross now pending before this court should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do. She told me she's telling her boss and her co-workers and her friends accusations about me. She told me they're coming after me. And my girlfriend heard her friend say, do you want me to get him? And that meant coming into my house repeatedly.
Oh, understood. Okay, so and so those threats were that he was going to share with them, that you had pressured her to have sex?
Yes. Accusations repeatedly, false accusations and threats, and repeatedly, yeah.
And and you want her moved out?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yes, please. Move her out, please. She's destroyed my life. Move her out, please.
All right. Are you charging her rent at all?
No. It's not about money. It's not about money. I just want her out, please.
Have you ever charged her rent?
I've asked her to contribute for the bills, for the utilities, to at least wash the dishes, help out in some way. If she doesn't want to do it, she says, I don't have any interest in anything you're doing.
So she's never paid you anything?
She paid maybe $5 here, $4 there. That's it.
All right, Mr. Paramedic, I'm going to let you just take a more elaborate history for the record.
Okay. Now, this Justine Taylor, have you had a chance to review her criminal record?
Yes.
And what is it extensive?
Yes, she has 14 arrests: prostitution, drug possession, stealing, false ID, resisting arrest, on and on. Yes.
Okay, now, is she having men come into your house?
Yes, repeatedly, every day, yes.
Is she using your house as a source of prostitution?
Yes, obviously, yes.
And you've asked her repeatedly to move?
Yes.
She doesn't have anything to do with owning your house?
No.
She doesn't pay you any rent?
No.
She's not a tenant?
No.
She just was a guest and she won't leave?
Yes.
Okay. And you'd like the court to issue an order so that you've called the police, they won't do it without an order.
Yeah.
You like to have her out of your house.
Yeah.
And you have your witness here, if we need one today.
Yeah,
This
my
is the girlfriend here, Tati.
Yeah.
And she's here out in the hall.
Yeah.
Anything else you need, Mara?
I'll hear briefly from the witness. However, with that said, I can't issue a move-out order, as you know, with a civil harassment petition. That remedy is not available. The most I can do is a conduct order and a stay-away order, but I can't put a stay-away order into place that would literally
Well, there's an order right now that's, 9 feet.
Yeah, I know. I
And then
understand.
she's violating that order.
Well, we'll take some testimony on that. The issue is going to be, let me think about this. When was the last time, sir? Is she in your house at the present time?
Yes.
How long has she been there?
Since October 2020.
And how did you meet her?
Yeah, I had online, she contacted, I had an ad on roomies.com to rent out my room, the bedroom. She contacted me, she's saying she's being abused, has nowhere to go. Please rescue me.
So she responded to a room for rent?
Yes.
So you rented to her. She may or may not have paid you, but you rented to her, is that correct?
I did not rent to her. There was no rental agreement, no agreement at all. I let her in without any agreement.
It's your position that you put a room for rent up in a newspaper?
No, at the website, roomies.com.
Okay, so you were looking for a paying roommate. She answered, and you took her in for free.
Yeah.
Tell the judge, if you would, what you do for a living.
I'm a caregiver for people on the autism spectrum. I take care of people. And then so that's my thing. I feel simple. It was a scam. I fell for that thing. I was going to help her out.
But in deciding to help her out, you would, according to your testimony, be foregoing the rent that you would otherwise collect from a paying tenant. Is that correct?
Well, I wanted rent, but I didn't want. That wasn't my emphasis. It's because she kept repeating that she doesn't have money to pay. So I wasn't going to harass her to tell her to pay.
So you took her in knowing that you would be foregoing the rent that you were looking to collect?
No, she let me know later on that she has financial difficulties. She has, obligations to pay. She's in trouble. She has to pay other things, and then she didn't want to pay. But that wasn't my emphasis. It's not. I'm not a money motivated person.
And I believe you're not money motivated. This court can't give you the relief you want. I can give you a conduct order, I can give him another, 9 feet away kind of order, just to keep him physically safe. If there's a violation of the order, the police can be called. With that said, I can't order him moved out.
If she's carrying on prostitution and illegal actions, she's been threatened. You tell me you can't order her to move out?
I can't order her to move out in a civil harassment proceeding. That remedy is not available. In a civil harassment proceeding, the only thing I can order are conduct orders and stay away orders, but stay away for somebody who's living under a roof in an established tenancy cannot be so far away that it physically puts them out of the house, because that is the equivalent of an eviction, and I can't evict in a civil harassment proceeding. That's the problem here. So he either has to evict her through the eviction courts, which are beginning to reopen, or
We had tried the eviction before, and you weren't consigned?
because of the moratorium, right?
Yeah.
I know, it's a problem, and a lot of people are coming through this court trying to get relief here, and you cannot get that kind of relief in a civil harassment proceeding.
May I say something? We have offered her rehab places and scholarship to rehab places, quality places. She refuses them.
I am not without empathy for your situation. And I do believe that you took her in, and probably forego her rent
Yeah.
when you determined she was unable to make it. However, you took her in response to an ad for a roommate. It was your understanding that she would pay the rent until she told you she couldn't, and then you forgave her the rent.
Yeah.
But you established the tenancy when you took her. Whether she paid the rent or not is another story. She's got to go through the eviction board.
The problem is that she's committing, she set his house up as a house of prostitution.
I understand that, and that may be a criminal matter. You can get her arrested as a prostitute.
We can't get the police to do anything in this. I even contacted the police department and say, somebody could get killed here. You're refusing to do anything. They wouldn't pay any attention to the restraining orders that you issued.
Well,
They wouldn't do anything.
So look, here's the issue. I can give him a restraining order that looks like the temporary. It's going to be your job to essentially document and report any violations of that restraining order. With that documented evidence, law enforcement will act.
Okay, that's what we
arrest
need.
her.
Can you restrain her from bringing men into my house?
I can fashion an order that speaks to that, yes.
Thank you. That
But
helps a lot. That
I
helps a lot.
cannot evict her, which is what you are essentially asking me to do, okay?
But the 9 feet order, she's in violation of that. She's in his house.
I understand that, but she came into his house as a tenant.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, I want to take the witness's testimony briefly, just in order to make sure that this is appropriate.
No, I understand.
Mr. Burns?
Should I call her in?
No.
Deputy-
His witness?
Your witness.
Yeah. Go get her. Yeah, thank you for taking your time with this confusing case.
Yeah, it's,
Just don't want anybody to get hurt. He's hard to deal with. It's a tough life here,
So ma'am, you're gonna stand against that green wall over there.
Okay.
Stand against the wall. Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly state that the testimony you may give in the class now pending before this court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead and have a seat in the witness box.
And how do you know the petitioner here?
He's my boyfriend
And how long has he been your boyfriend?
since the end of January.
Are you aware of what's going on in his home?
It's crazy. Justine Taylor has been living there since October.
Can we just tell Her Honor what's going on? What's the problem?
She lives there rent free. She's prostituting. She's a former heroin addict.
How do you know that?
She told me.
Go ahead.
You've also seen her criminal record? Hello?
She has multiple arrests.
She's from Florida?
She's terrible.
So does she have her own room there in the house?
Yes, sir.
And does she have a job?
She supposedly has a job that she goes to, but she sleeps all day and she stays up all night, and then she lets her dog out, and then the dog poops all over the yard, and then she leaves the poop and the urine all over the place, and
Does she bring men into the house?
she brings multiple men in the house.
Explain what you see her do in that regard.
She brings multiple guys in during the day and night, and then they stay several hours, and then they leave, and then she brings another guy in, and
Is she committing prostitution in the
I
house?
believe so. I believe that she is, and I believe that she's having sex with these men in the house.
And how many per day, approximately?
At least 2 or 3.
Has she ever gotten violent with anybody there in the place?
She's pushed furniture and yelled and screamed and pushed him out of the way,
Him
and
who?
Zeke,
She's done what with him again?
she's pushed him out of the way.
Do you think this is a dangerous situation with her
I think
living?
it's very volatile.
Tell us why. How many times have the police been called to come to your,
Oh my God, like every other day.
will they do anything?
They never do anything.
They tell you why?
They never give a reason. They just sit on their hands and they never do anything. And they give excuses.
Has she been physical with anybody else in the house?
The dog.
How so?
She hits the dog.
Have you seen that?
Yes.
Have any of the gentlemen who she's brought into the house caused any kind of trouble to anybody living in that house?
They threatened Zeke.
Did you hear that?
Yes, I was outside one time.
What did you hear? And when was that?
And probably in February, I was outside and I was smoking, and he was like, "Do you want me to get Zeke?" And she was like, "No, I don't think it's necessary at this time."
You were outside the house in
I
February?
was standing in the sidewalk in front of the house, in front of the gate.
And, I'm sorry, and there was a visitor there, and what did he do?
He was like, "Do you want me to get Zeke? Like, do you want me to beat him up?"
Why would he have asked you that?
He was asking Justine that. Because they were starting to argue,
Also to get Zeke and to
to hurt him.
where were they arguing in this house?
They were just starting, the
Inside?
arguing was just starting to build at the time. What I'm trying to say is the arguing was just starting.
Between Zeke and Justine,
Yes.
inside the house?
No, in general.
In general, their combative relationship had just begun, is that what you're
Yes.
saying?
He was taking Justine out to eat.
Okay,
And she was going in the house to get her shoes and to get her purse. And right before that, he was like, "Do you want me to get him?" And she was like, no, not at this time, it's not necessary.
What did you understand get him to mean?
To beat him up.